Hey everyone, it's Teresa, and today I've got a fun video making farmhouse decor using Dollar Tree garden stuff. And don't forget, if you're new here, to subscribe and leave me a comment below. So first we're going to start off with one of these little chick cutouts, and we're going to just give it one good coating of that wood tint from Folk Art, and it's in the color Walnut. And now we're going to go in with our Folk Art white Adirondack paint, and I was originally just going to do like a little bit of a brushing, not too much, just add a little bit of something, just, and then I dropped it. And then I was like, well, I guess we're going to go a lot heavier than I had originally anticipated. Does that happen to you guys all the time? Like you do something and you're like, well, I guess we're going to do it a little different today. And then I'm going to take this little finger sander, and we're just going to sand down, some of the edges, parts in the middle, just to give it a little bit of a rougher overall look. So yeah, it's funny accidents, right? It's like you do something and you're like, well, different direction instead, because I wasn't going to, go back over it and paint it again or anything like that. So it's all right. I think it ended up good. So now that that is all finished, we're going to take this tiny little bit of the calendar piece from the Simply Blessed calendar. I cut it out off one of the little back parts just to give it, I don't know, a little extra touch. So of course, it's really, really white because it came off of a white calendar. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go over that with that same wood tint just to kind of blend it in a little bit, make it look a little dirtier. And basically, I dip my brush in the tint and then blot it off on a paper towel so that it's really not, it's not like it's fully saturating the actual little piece of paper. So, and I just stuck it on there with one of those giant glue sticks from Target. That I stole from my kids. And then I'm going to go around and give a little more definition, a little shadowing almost around the edges of that. I'm going to call it a sticker. It's not a sticker, but you know what I mean. The little piece that we stuck onto the chick. Like I said, just to give it a little something. And I don't know if anyone noticed this, but it says nest, and chicks have a nest. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's corny. I can't help myself sometimes. So once we're all finished with that, we're going to go ahead and start working on this frame. Originally it was gold, but I've already painted it with plaster from Waverly, of course. And so next we're going to take some of this chicken wire. Again, do you get it? You get it? My son does that all the time. It's hilarious. And this is a little cheating. They do sell it from the Dollar Tree. I have not seen it from the Dollar Tree. And honestly, if I do find it at the Dollar Tree, I'm not 100% sure I'll get it because I've found this little spool of chicken wire ribbon or something. And I'm just going to cut it down to fit. I cut 3 of those, to fit all the way across. And next we're going to start putting it down. I'm going to clamp it down a little bit. Be very careful, even if you do find this at Hobby Lobby, it is still rather sharp when you cut it, so just be careful. I definitely got myself a couple of times. And then we're just going to glue it all down, and that little glue gun is new. It is a Sure Bonder still, but I got it off a recommendation from Liz, the official craft nerd, and of course I had to buy it because it's without wires and it's chargeable. So I'll have it linked for you down below in case you're interested in it. I'm still in the process of trying it out, so no definite direction of a review yet. So once I've glued everything down, then I'm going to start to trim off that chicken wire. Now it's going to leave, like I said, it leaves definitely a jagged sharpness to it, but in a minute I'll show you what we're going to do as a result to kind of keep you safe and keep your walls safe. So I'll show you that here in a minute. But like I said, just going through with my little wire cutters, those little pliers that came in like a set of 3. It's like a jeweler's set or something, and it works really well for this kind of stuff. I'll have it linked for you too. And so once we're done with that, make sure you're very careful about all the pieces that you cut off, because you don't really want to leave those sitting around somewhere and you not realize that. So we did that all the way across with 3 pieces, and now I'm going to add down some glue, and I'm going to add one of these short dowels from Dollar Tree. It's absolutely perfect size. I didn't have to cut it down at all. And we're going to just put that on the part of the frame that has all of the jaggedness. Like the ones that run like long ways, we don't really need to do that. So next we're going to take just a regular popsicle stick, craft stick, cut it shorter than you think you should cut it, because I cut it a little too long, and using my miter shears, just trim it up. And I'm going to have that popsicle stick, craft stick thing on the back side, And then we're going to have obviously the chick on the front side. So this is just giving your little chick something to kind of hold on to. And it's also going to keep some of that chicken wire kind of stationary. You know what I mean? Like obviously it's 3 pieces. So this is going to help kind of keep it all together. See here, I'm just kind of arranging it a little bit and then getting it stuck down. And then we're going to put our chick. And see, I definitely should have gone a little shorter on the chick, but that's okay. Or on the stick. Stick, chick. Oh gosh, I need more coffee. So then once I've gotten it most of the way down, I'm going to go ahead and add some more glue and just kind of sneaking that nice, you know, smaller tip of the glue gun in between those 2 pieces. I'll add a little here or there, you know, just to kind of get it nice and, you know, situated there. So I added a little more too, just without where it doesn't have the glue, just to kind of keep that wire from moving around a lot. And see, we're just, like I said, we're just adding tons and tons of glue. So just try not to go too overboard. I tend to do that. And that way you're not ending up trying to get rid of all the glue. And see, I had to cut down just a little bit of the stick. You could see it. So, and then we're cleaning up all the glue pieces because it's unavoidable. And see, like that little foot had a little spot to glue down. So I did that. And here's just, you know, a bow I added. It's just a shoestring bow. Nothing particularly fancy about how I made it. You guys know me. I don't do bows very well. And I'm just going to glue down the tails just to give them, you know, a little bit of a cute look so they're not just hanging wherever they feel like it. We put them where we want them. Here it is, all finished. It's super, super cute. Super cute. Can't get over it. So I wanted to also let you know, coming up on Tuesday, there's Try It Tuesday instead of Wednesday. And then on Sunday, we're doing a stash swap. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to go ahead and get into our next project. We're going to start off with one of these big beware signs from Halloween time. We're just going to fill those little holes like I normally do with just some wood filler. And then we're going to give it a full coat of the Adirondack white. Well, when I say full coat, in reality, it's not completely a full coat. I wasn't really worried about covering it all the way because it's going to be distressed anyways. I'm going in with that little finger sander again. I'll link it if I can find it on Amazon. I got it from Target, but I will link it from Amazon if I find it for you. It's probably a better deal at Amazon. If it is better at Target, I'll link that one instead. I actually had seen recently Savannah from Savvy Crafts with Savannah use it, and I was like, oh, that's cute. And then I went through Target and I was like, oh, there it is. Have to buy it. And then of course my little ladybug, as always, there to help clean up. Now we're going to add our lines. Do not use this Cricut fine tip marker pen thing because right now it is black. However, once you add paint or water or anything to it, it's not black anymore. It ends up being blue. But you all know I'm very challenged when it comes to drawing lines. So I've actually got it against the wall with my yardstick and trying to make it to where it might be straight. And I think I did a pretty good job given my track record. So, and then here we are, we're going to go in with that same folk art wood tint, but this one is in gray. And I think it has just, you know, just perfect amount of distressing without really going in with the Waverly. So we're just doing something a little different this time. We're going more gray tones instead of the brown tones. And I don't know if you can see it in here. I can't remember if I didn't show all of it because it took forever to, you know, fully saturate it. And then I had to redraw the lines anyways. So we're going to use this from the garden section. It is just a little windmill welcome sign. Using my little pliers set, I'm just going to pull off all of that other stuff because I just want the windmill part. And it takes a little bit of work. Things get a little bent. I won't put you through every moment of it. I think maybe I do put you through every moment of it. I do. I let you watch all of it. I'm sorry. You get to watch me struggle. So I kind of went back and forth between the different tools, trying to get it all the way apart, off camera, obviously. I end up bending that little front piece. That ends up being like my way of doing it. I bend that little front piece. Don't worry. We're going to reattach it. And then I'm going to start trying to take off those little pieces that were underneath it. And then we're going to squeeze them together with the pliers to actually get it small enough to slip out eventually. sometime today. And there we go. See, a little bit of muscle, a little bit of work. It's all right. So I'm going to try to bend it all back together to make it look somewhat right. And you just press it on the desk and it kind of works out. And then this little piece, I'm just going to clean up that little shard that's on there. Again, be careful because these little pieces, you know, they are pretty sharp. And we're just going to glue that down with our glue gun, and you just add a little dab of glue. I like to do, a lot of times when I glue something and I feel like it might come through the other side, I'll put it over some like parchment paper. So that way you're not going to end up with it all over something or accidentally glue it to something else or your desk. Can you tell I've done it before? And we're going to go in with mineral and we're going to go in with ink, both from Waverly. And we're going to kind of get rid of some of that shininess. It's not too terribly bad. You know, it's definitely got a lot more of that distressed look to it, but it was a little bright and shiny for this particular project. So first I'm just going in with one of those stencil brushes from Dollar Tree, painting over, you know, quite a bit of it with the black. And it was definitely really dark at this point. So I was like, well, let me take a little bit of the mineral and start working that on there. And be careful when you do this. Like I didn't feel like getting a different brush, and then I had so much of the black that I don't know if you guys have this paint or not, the ink one from Waverly. It is black. Let me tell you, that stuff is like in there. I don't understand. It's like the most opaque paint that I've ever had. So, but yeah, I'm just kind of going back and forth wherever it makes the most sense with either the mineral or with the black. And then we're going to go in with a little bit of antique wax just to give it almost like a rusted effect. It's definitely something you can skip. It's up to you. Or you could just do that antique wax and mineral. That would have been cool too. Just to give it, depending on what you want. If you want it to look more black and gray, or if you want it to have more of that rusted look. So now we're going to place everything down on our sign. And I've got I could have gone a couple of ways. One thing I'd seen where they used a windmill on, I think it was like maybe Wayfair. Could be something else. I can't recall. They did love. I wanted to do home just because it's really funny. I found one that they used it and did farm, and they kept like the little pieces underneath it that had a triangle shape to it. And I was like, well, I live in suburbia of Orlando, so farm is probably not the most fitting. So what I did is I placed down my H first, then I did the E, then the M, and now I'm going to do the windmill part next. And I'm just putting glue kind of in the middle and along where all of the blades hit that circle. That way, you know, it actually has something to hold on to. And here it is, all finished. It's really cute. I'm really happy with it. And I'm not a, you know, big like actual farmhouse. I usually go towards more the rustic side. So next we're going to start off with one of these little tulip wood pieces, and we're going to cut off the base. And as you can see, we stained it with the same wood tint, walnut wood tint. And we're going to mix some yellow and some white paint. The yellow one is called Maize. It is from Waverly, and then the white is still that Adirondack white. And we're just going to mix the two of those together because it's a tulip. I kind of wanted it to have just a little bit of yellow to it, you know, so where it's not just straight white doing that, you know, that distressing, basically. Just to give it, you know, a little bit of color. It's not really something that's really going to stand out, but I know it's there. And it's just a little something, you know, it's like very, very pale yellow. So I just kind of go along the edges for the most part. I go in the middle part where the little picture would be if you use a picture, around the stem, that kind of thing. And then we are going to use another piece from that same Simply Blessed calendar, and I'm just going to use the little circle picture form to draw around it, cut it out, and add it into it. And now we're using this clay pot from Dollar Tree garden section. I'm going to link below where I actually DIY'd this. I did it on a previous video, but I will link it for you below. And we are going to just use a piece of pool noodle. I like that better than floral foam a lot of the times just because it ends up being less messy, and you get a lot for your money because you get one big pool noodle for $1. So I'm just going to find a good spot for that, and then we're going to start placing all of that little boxwood plant in there, and here's how it turned out. I think it's really cute. You know, enjoy the little things. It's such a cute little thing. And so on our last project, this is going to be super fast. I'm taking a glass container from Dollar Tree. I think it's supposed to be like a candle holder. I spray painted it white, did about 2 coats to cover it. And then we're going to take that ink Waverly chalk paint and just kind of go around on, you know, like the edges, a little bit in the middle, you know, just kind of wherever makes some sense. It's almost like I'm trying to make it look a little bit like that, I can't think of it now, enamel. I'm kind of trying to make it look a little bit like a worn enamel. I probably should have gone with a satin paint, satin for the white. So if you are trying to recreate something like this, if you have a satin spray paint, that would probably be the better choice, to be honest. I did not. So again, same thing, pool noodle, and we're gonna just use one of these little succulent plants and another little succulent plant. They're so stinking cute. I mean, Dollar Tree is like stepping it up. Those are from the garden section, so that's where to look for those. And we're gonna add some rocks in there just to give it like a little like rocky garden kind of look. And you can't really see the rocks too much, so, you know, especially with the pool noodle in there, you don't really have to use a lot. That was kind of nice. And we're going to add our second succulent in there. And here's how it turned out. It's really cute. I like it. So, and here are all of our projects for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget, if you're new here, to let me know. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I would really appreciate it. It helps me out so very much. And I will see you guys next time.